Hey, Tony Guys here. Y'all gotta forgive me. Airplane flying over me. I was learning a lesson. Wanting to share this here lesson. I know how it is. Like in life, you try to be a good person and you try to help. And you try to serve. And we all as humans, we want to be appreciated. You want to be appreciated. You want people to show gratitude. You want people to give you your flowers while you living. And you want it to be more than just words. It's human nature. Now, people who don't give anything, people who don't really sacrifice for people who don't really serve, those are the people who always say, oh, well, you ought to just give and not expect anything in return. Those are the people that's taken, because they want the people that's given to them to not accept or want or deserve anything in return. Those are takers. Now, when you are a giver, that's when you know what it feels like to give and then to feel like you're not appreciated. And that's when you have to minister to yourself. And that's when you got to encourage yourself. And I remember serving. It was a season in my life, and I was serving and just trying to help. And where I was serving at, what I got in return was, lip service. And that, there was a pit in my stomach about it. But what happened outside of that, although where I was serving, it didn't benefit me financially, socially, in the corporate world, anything like that. It benefited me spiritually to be giving. But what happened in my life outside of that is God took and blessed me and sent me into a season to where in the other areas of my life where I was doing business, my income went up over 300%. But where I was serving directly, there was there was thank yous verbally, but nothing, physically, not like a card or, like a token of appreciation. It was just like, hey, thank you, thank you verbally. And that had to be enough. And I had to realize, and I had to remind myself, listen, I'm not serving this person or this group of people. I'm serving God. I'm doing this unto the Lord. And my mentee, one of my mentees just said that to me. He said, Tony, man, listen, what I do for you, I'm not worried about the serving. I'm not worried about the money. I'm not worried about feeling like an assistant. Like, I'm serving unto God. And that reminded me, like, hey, that's the way that I have to serve too. And when you always have to be mindful, like, you can't depend on humans to give you your flowers, because your Father in heaven owns all the flower mounds, owns all the lilies in the field, owns all the sunflowers, owns all the flowers, owns all the cattle on 1,000 hills, owns all the barns. And it's your Father in heaven who will fill your barn, who will replenish you for your heart and for your service and for your effort. So I just want to, encourage those of you who are seeking and desiring to be a giver, to be a giver. Like, I sometimes, like, I see, like, if you send somebody a cash out, all that they can do back, if they don't have your phone number, all they could do back is hit the heart button. And that little heart might not feel good enough. And so you have to make sure that when you giving it from the right place, that it's coming from your heart. And I see that sometimes. I'm like, man, I wish Cash App had a thing to where if somebody send me something, $1 or $100 or whatever, that I could not just hit that heart, but I could say, thank you so much. And so imagine like if somebody send you a blessing and all you could do is just hit that heart. And that's how it is in life. It's like you may do something and all this person may have the capacity or the ability to do is say thank you. You might be at a clinic helping somebody who can't speak verbally and they have to say thank you through sign language. And that you have to feel that. And you can't say, oh, I want this person to, write me a card. I want this person to, and I feel like that, and I've gone through that. And you want to make sure also, we have to make sure that we giving with a glad heart. And that we giving from the right place in our heart. And I've been a giver. And the reason why I've been a giver is just my mindset says, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. That's why I tell myself I'm blessed. Even if I'm struggling in life and financially or whatever, I say I'm blessed. I tell myself that. And that'll make me give to somebody even when I'm in lack or I may not have everything I need. Like all my bills may not be paid and I will give because I'll say I'm blessed. I know blessings coming. I know God got me. And I was listening to a book and it said gratitude is not a human trait. It's not an innate human trait, that we must learn gratitude and how to show gratitude and how to be grateful, that we have to learn that. And I was like, man, you would think it would be a natural, innate human trait, but it's not. And so, and I learned this on my journey, and I just want to encourage somebody else who may be on that same journey, because sometimes we don't have anybody to sit down and remind us of this, that your giving cannot be unto men and women. Your giving has to be unto God. You have to be giving to God. And I remember people used to always say like, well, why you give that dollar to that person on the street corner? They just going to get some beer. They just going to get some drugs. And God laid on my heart one day to say, listen, you're not giving to him or her. You giving to me. Because who you giving to, that could be an angel. That could be an angel that you're unaware of. And that could have been your test to see where your heart is, to see if you're going to judge this person that's homeless, and if you're going to judge and sentence them and say, you a crackhead, you an alcoholic, because the look in their eyes, because they stumbling, because their speech may be slurred, when you don't know what the son and sleeping outside under a bridge has done to his or her mental health. And you don't know what put them in that place. And that could be an angel unaware, but we take it upon ourselves to judge them. And we judge them, and then we ask God not to judge us. We ask God to overlook our private sins and what we doing in private. That right there, what you doing in private. Yeah. That is not pleasing to God. We ask God to overlook that, Lord, and still send me my blessing. Lord, run me my blessing regardless of the backbiting and the gossiping and the secret jealousy and hating that I'm doing. Lord, run me my blessing. But no, this right here, homeless person. Oh, crackhead. Go get a job. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You out here every day. Every day I'm at this light. You at the same light. Get a job. Your legs work. And we had the audacity to judge this person, not knowing what they done went through, what they got going on in life, and got a stack of ones right there and just can't even. And I had to shift my mindset. And a lot of times, I seen a difference in my life, though. I seen my life go up. I seen blessings and blessings start to come. And I see people that's right around me, and they seeing my blessings coming, and they might be wondering, like, man, how you getting blessed? Man, my heart good like yours. And then in a conversation, I hear they judge the person on the street corner. And I say, that right there, that's one difference. That's one difference. And you got to identify, and y'all got to realize, when I'm sharing my personal story, I'm not bragging to you about me and who I am. I'm sharing my personal journey and the life lessons that I've learned, because I know it's somebody that's right there. Sometimes people take it the wrong way, and think that, oh, you bragging about yourself and trying to make yourself look good and sound good. No, I'm telling the only story I know, which is my story. And I'm a witness to the redeeming attributes of Christ. I'm a witness to change. I'm a witness to growth through what God has done in my life. So that's what I share, and I want y'all to understand that. And don't let, I always tell people, don't let your insecurity confuse my confidence for arrogance. Because as Proverbs 1:7 say, with the knowledge of the Lord comes a strong confidence. But if you insecure, and if your mindset off, then you're going to misinterpret somebody's confidence in God and what they have learned through walking with God for arrogance. So make sure that you're walking right there, okay? And I realized this over time too, that I had to learn and grow in that area. I just heard a young man, an NBA player, and he was motivating his team, motivating his young men, and he was saying, ain't now one of y'all gonna take my job. Ain't now one of y'all could guard me. Now, in my insecure days, I would have took offense to that. Oh, he bragging. Oh, he looking down on them. Oh, he talking down on them. But in my day now, I'm like, he right. He need to let them know. If you want it, you got to work for it. You got to grind. Don't walk around here feeling entitled when you ain't put in the work to be entitled to nothing. And so I see it different. And I heard a quote through Stephen R. Covey book. He say, we don't see the world for what it is. We see the world for what we are. And that's why you got to understand, it's like you got to check what offends you. What offends you, you got to really evaluate, why does this offend me? Is it because it's wrong? Or is it because of where your heart is at? That's what you got to realize and understand now. And so, and here's my thing. This is what I want everybody, and I'm gonna get back to my talks with Tony, but right now I'm moving and, you know, got stuff going on, trying to get in shape, get some of this here weight off of me. And so I just got done running upstairs, and so I'm sitting here on the steps trying to catch my breath. But, you know, I'm moving around, and so I ain't had the time to sit down at my desk and do the talks with Tony. And but one thing I want you to understand, for everybody that watch my videos, I'm not a guru. You ain't never heard me say, when you read any of my bios online, you will never see me write relationship expert, nothing expert, business expert. All I am is a vessel that as I learn a lesson, I teach it. As I learn a lesson, I teach it, because I believe that that's what our purpose is, to teach as we learn, to lift as we climb. So please, to the carnal spirits out there, don't ever get it twisted when you come on this page with where my message coming from. The sole purpose is to help somebody else not trip and fall in the hole I fell in. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Hey, this is Tony Gaston. God bless you. We'll be in touch.